Since Christ came, the world has been created. A Gentile does not die, for he has never lived in order that he may die. He who has believed in the truth has found life, and this one is in danger of dying, for he is alive. Since Christ came, the world has been created, the cities adorned, the dead carried out. When we were Hebrews, we were orphans and had only our mother, but when we became Christians, we had both father and mother. Gospel of Philip. This profound statement from the Gospel of Philip highlights the transformative power of Christ's coming. It reveals the spiritual renewal and new creation that his presence has initiated in the world. Each phrase offers insights into the spiritual realities brought about by Christ and his role in the cosmic and human reordering. A Gentile does not die. A Gentile does not die, for he has never lived in order that he may die. This line reflects the state of spiritual death for those who have not yet encountered the truth of Christ. As Paul writes in Ephesians 2 verse 1, "And you he made alive, who were dead in trespasses and sins." Gentiles, representing those outside the covenant or the truth, have not lived spiritually and therefore cannot experience spiritual death as believers do. It underscores the idea that spiritual life begins only when one comes to know Christ and believes in the truth. He who has believed in the truth, has found life, and this one is in danger of dying, for he is alive. Believing in the truth, which is Christ himself, John 14:6, brings spiritual life. This new life is not a passive state, but one that requires continual faith and reliance on God. The warning of being in danger of dying reflects the possibility of spiritual separation through unbelief or turning away from God. Hebrews 3 verse 12 cautions, "Beware, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God." The life found in Christ is both a gift and a responsibility, as emphasized in John 15:4-6, where abiding in Christ is essential for sustaining spiritual vitality. Those alive in Christ must remain steadfast, connected to the truth to avoid spiritual death. Since Christ came, the world has been created. Since Christ came, the world has been created, the cities adorned, the dead carried out. This statement aligns with John 1:3. All things were made through him, and without him, nothing was made that was made. While this verse speaks to Christ's role in the original creation, it also points to the spiritual recreation initiated by his coming. Christ's arrival ushered in a new era where humanity and the cosmos are being spiritually renewed. Colossians 1:16-18 emphasizes Christ's role in this new creation. For by him all things were created. He is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. Through his death and resurrection, Christ reconciles humanity to God, initiating a profound spiritual transformation. The cities adorned symbolize the restoration and order brought by the light of Christ. In 2 Corinthians 4 verse 6, Paul declares, "For it is the God who commanded light to shine out of darkness, who has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ." The gospel brings illumination and renewal to a world once darkened by sin. The dead carried out refers to spiritual resurrection. As stated in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new." Those once dead in sin are now brought to life through Christ, entering into a renewed relationship with God. From orphans to children of God. When we were Hebrews, we were orphans and had only our mother. But when we became Christians, we had both father and mother. This imagery speaks of the transition from the old covenant to the new covenant established by Christ. Under the old covenant, the relationship with God was incomplete, like that of orphans with only a mother. With the coming of Christ, believers gain both a father and the nurturing care of the Spirit. John 1:12-13 captures this shift. "But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born, not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God." Through Christ, believers are no longer estranged, but fully embraced as children of God. This spiritual adoption marks the fullness of life in the new creation. A prophetic fulfillment. The coming of Christ fulfills the old covenant while inaugurating a new creation. The Gospel of Philip beautifully conveys this truth, emphasizing that Christ's presence brought spiritual life, light, and renewal to the world. In John 1:1-4, the Word is revealed as the source of life and light, signaling the beginning of a new era where the spiritually dead are made alive and the world is adorned with Christ's glory. Through him, humanity is no longer orphaned, but welcomed into the fullness of a transformative relationship with both the Father and the Spirit, embodying the completeness of the new creation.